Well, good evening, everyone. The regular board meeting of the Vallecitos Water District Board of Directors for September 4th, 2024 will come to order. Before we begin, I would like to announce that members of the public may watch the meeting live via computer or smart device by going to the district's website and clicking on the Watch Live icon. However, they will not be able to participate in the meeting remotely. Members of the public may also listen to the meeting live on their phone by dialing 888-788-0099 toll-free or 877-853-5247 also toll-free. When prompted, enter the meeting ID and passcode displayed on the district's website. We will now have the Pledge of Allegiance. Anthony, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Flores. Roll call is up next, and I believe we are doing this.
We should be back up, so you can indicate your.
Okay, great.
Nice.
Great work, thank you. Okay, for present, Director Elitharp absent. Do we have any additions to the agenda?
No, ma'am.
Okay, may I have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented?
Move to approve.
Okay, a motion by Director Hernandez, may I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Vice President Pinnock. Any discussion? Seeing none, please vote. Okay, and the motion passes. The agenda is adopted. Thank you. Do we have any public speakers tonight?
No, ma'am.
Okay, great. Moving on to consent items. Unless any board member would like to pull something from the consent calendar, may I have a motion to adopt the consent calendar as presented?
Move to approve.
Okay, motion by Vice President Pinnock. Thank you. May I have a second? I will second. Okay, any discussion? Okay, seeing none, please vote. Okay, thank you. The consent items have passed. Moving on to action items. Agenda item 2.1, water supply update.
Yeah, while Chris gets us going, this is the quarterly water supply update, and this is basically the summer update, or what the results of the summer. As the board is aware, and not to take all of Chris's information, is we've had two really amazing winters up in the Sierra Mountains, and we've had great water supply because of that. And this summer now with the heat wave, we're going to see some little changes in results, but hopefully it's still pretty much good news. With that, Chris, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, General Manager. Okay, so it is up on your screen. Super. Just the water supply update for quarterly for September 4th. Not a whole lot of news at this point. Maybe some interesting items. The board rescinded the drought level 1 back on June 5th. We've had back-to-back good water years. 2023 water year was the 8th wettest on record for the past 5 decades, so a pretty long time. That's good news for us. The precipitation map, you can see that this is a recent precipitation map, so you can see like all of California looking really in good shape for this specific water year. There's been some interesting activity for the recent month of August. You may have seen we got snow in the Sierras in August, which, you know, a lot of the staff at DWR and other agencies, they don't even remember anything like that, you know, just the deep part of the summer and getting snow. Not a lot of snow, but some snow. But then on the other side of that coin, Park Fire up in central northern California, and the size of the fire is basically the size of Los Angeles. It's just a huge, kind of devastating fire. So we get these extremes that we're so not used to seeing. The reservoir storage is looking good at this specific time of year. Shasta at 69%, Oroville at 71%, San Luis down at 44%. But just some good numbers to see this late in the season. Happy to see good reservoir amounts. Colorado River, Lake Mead at 33%, Lake Powell with a bump up to 40%, upper basin precipitation's 105%. So those are good numbers to see. Happy to see those values. Seasonal temperature outlook for the United States, and then our little piece of the corner, equal chances for temperature in San Diego County. Seasonal precipitation outlook is just a little bit less than normal, is what they expect for September, October, November. So no real specific action at this time. I plan to return in December with an update as we enter the new water year, but any questions? Thank you.
Any questions? You know, since we're coming off of a couple of wet years, how, you know, for the benefit of the board and the public, how can we anticipate that will impact our water supply and our water sales?
So the Water Authority is predicting that we will have plenty of supplies here locally, that there's nothing to impact us in the very near future. Sales, there might be some kind of a rebound when there's a lot of messaging out. The sales will drop down, but as messaging gets quiet, both at the district and at the Water Authority level and MWD's level and even the state of California's level, you know, there might be a little bit of a bounce.
Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you for the presentation. Any other comments or questions? Okay, and do we have any public comment on this?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then this item is for information only. Thank you again for the presentation. Okay, moving on to agenda item 2.2, authorization to renew a 3-year contract with Astari for IT support services.
Yeah, so as the board's aware, the district always looks at our positions and how we use our consultants, and we kind of evaluate what our best return on investment is. And Matthias, our Chief Technology Officer, has done just that. And this is actually a continuation of services that the district has been using for IT. Matthias, when you're ready.
Good evening, President Boyd Hodgson, members of the board. Today I'm here to discuss and seek approval for the renewal of the IT support contract with Astari. This brief presentation will include the following: overview or background of current staffing levels, financial perspective, and contract evolution. The contract has been in place since 2009 with Astari. In addition, I'll be speaking to the value proposition and cost effectiveness of the existing contract, strategic alignment, and a formal recommendation followed by questions,
Great.
if you have any. So the background, as you're aware, our IT department is currently staffed with 6 full-time positions. However, since the retirement of our senior systems administrator position on August 31st of 2023, the crucial position has remained vacant. In response, Astari, who has been providing additional IT support services since 2009, has essentially expanded their role to fill that gap. The expansion has not only stabilized our IT operations, but has also proven to be very cost effective, and that is why we're here tonight. Financial perspective and contract evolution. I earlier discussed that the contract has been in place since 2009. Previously, we managed 2 separate contracts. One was for additional services, and this contract totaled $150,000, which is reflected in the current staff report that is before you tonight. The $150,000 contract covered Tier 3 IT support in addition to a few additional administrative tasks. This fiscal year, we decided to consolidate both contracts. The one for additional Tier 3 support in addition to the IT administrator contract. The single comprehensive contract value totaled $186,156. While the initial figure may seem higher, it's actually more cost effective when compared to the potential $180,000 annual cost of hiring a new full-time systems administrator and additional support services required beyond the scope of the duties of the system administrator position. Approximately $110,000 of the $186,000 supports the system administrator role, $75,000 funds higher level engineering tasks that are ad hoc tasks, such as network management, specialized expertise, which we'll continue to need regardless of the districts filling the system administrator position. The consolidated approach not only simplifies our operations, but enhances them by leveraging Ostari's capabilities and their depth of knowledge and deep bench, essentially, whereas hiring a single full-time employee is just one employee. Value proposition, ultimately, the modest increase in services is more than offset, as referenced earlier, by the breadth and depth of the Ostari services, and they go above and beyond what a single in-house administrative role would provide for the district. That then aligns with our strategic vision, your vision that you board members set for us to enhance operational reliability and efficiency across the board, and ultimately be able to provide and improve service delivery for the community. In conclusion, renewing this contract, hopefully by your approving it tonight, it's going to strengthen the services that we provide, ultimately being able to provide additional services, have additional redundancy, whereas when staff may be unavailable or on vacation, we have an additional bench that we can draw from, and that's one of the main purposes of extending the contract. So that is all for tonight. It was a mouthful, but hopefully that was beneficial to hear that background and justification. And I thank you for your attention. I'm open to any questions or comments that you may have.
Thank you for that presentation. My questions are around cybersecurity. And so I'd like to know, with this new contract, what has been your experience with this company in the past regarding ensuring that our systems are secure? And do you see a benefit in going with this group in that they may have more specialized expertise in cybersecurity?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Really good question. So what are the district's approach is been defense in depth, or a layered approach to cybersecurity. We don't really rely on one particular outfit or group. We have several services that we essentially utilize to provide cybersecurity above and beyond the scope of the regular staffing. Now, they do have expertise. Ostari does have expertise in cybersecurity. We do have staff, in addition, that have the ability to respond in the event of an incident. We also utilize services that are publicly available and funded by the government that provide kind of disaster recovery services, and we're utilizing those as well. Those are sponsored and provided by the Department of Homeland Security, and we are members and do take advantage of those as well. So we are prepared. Hopefully nothing happens, but we are as prepared as we can be.
Okay, I had no doubt. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that.
You're welcome.
What other questions are there?
Go ahead, please. What was the former principal employment annual salary with Burden?
It was $180,000.
And we're getting this now for less than that?
We're getting this for 108. That would be correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Correct.
Okay, thank you.
So just to follow up, is that indefinitely? I mean, we're not going to need to hire that. This will replace that indefinitely?
It will be a 3-year term. We have been doing it since last year. It has been successful. I don't anticipate reversing course.
Yeah, but we'll reevaluate at the end of the 3-year term, depending on rates and prices and the district's needs.
For the next 3 years, gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha. Thank you for giving this presentation. And it seems like Ostari has been a great partner to us so far. I was just curious, was there any other vendors considered for this? I know that it would take a lot to onboard a new vendor, but just...
Yeah, we actually do have a handful of vendors that we do consult with. the cheapest, the most cost-effective vendor has been Ostari, even with the current rate increases.
Yep.
We haven't realized any significant rate increases on this contract since 2009. But they were the cheapest of the ones that we or most cost-effective of the ones that we currently do business with.
Thank you for that, and I expected that to be the response, and just
You're welcome.
want to highlight it as $90K a year for a systems admin, although part-time at 3 days a week, is an incredible value, and likely why you weren't able to quickly find a replacement for, even at the full rate salary for the systems admin. So
That's exactly
props
right.
to Astari, and we've got, a representative in the room here. But this seems to have been a valuable contract, and thank you for sourcing it and continuing to keep a good partnership going here.
You're welcome.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, then I believe we are taking action on this. Are there any public speakers? No, okay. Then I will move to extend the contract by 3 years as presented by staff. May I have a second?
I will second it.
Okay, thank you, Director Grosset. Motion and second. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, please vote. Okay, and the motion passes. Thank you. Thank you, Matthias, for the presentation and for keeping us safe.
Thank you, Matthias.
Okay, next up are reports. General Manager Gompel.
Yes, Madam President. I have a few items. First off, as you may know, there's work on Rancho Santa Fe Road. That is the city's work, and it's going to be impacting traffic on Rancho Santa Fe for quite some time. So if you guys get calls as board members, that is the city's work. It's on the city's website. They have information out. They've been advertising it, and if you have children in schools, you've already known about it. So, but in case you guys get a call from any of your customers or constituents. Couple other big items. The Hillside property, 9/17 ends our initial, basically our initial time to get interested parties. We did get one interested party, which means we'll have to start the 90-day negotiation period. There'll be a separate closed item down the road when it's appropriate to bring it to the full board, and we'll be also scheduling a ad hoc committee in the near future to start discussing that.
Who
So,
was the inquiry from?
can I state that?
I wouldn't at this time.
Okay. I will wait to the ad hoc committee.
Oh,
So, yeah. Anthony's last day is today, so I know the board's aware of it. I sent out an email also. So unfortunately, he's definitely a short timer, but I do appreciate all of his hard work and dedication. And for most people on their last day are not working all the way late to get everything done. So I do appreciate it. I wish you the best of luck at your new position. Congratulations. It's a great agency you're going to, and you'll have lots of work to do in a larger scope. So good luck to you. Anthony is going to, whether he knows it or not, be available by phone every now and then. So hopefully, hopefully he will pick up the phone. So we'll see how that goes. So at least initially. So.
That's right, we all have your phone number. We all have your phone number too.
And I want to introduce Jennifer Cerna. She's in here helping us out temporarily while Anthony's gone, and we'll be seeing a little bit more of her in the next, for a while actually. So hopefully, say hi to Jennifer if you haven't met her already. Lastly, and this is something new to the board, I've reached out with connections to other general managers, and we reached out to a retired board, executive board secretary. Has over 20 years. Kim Johnson worked for Rancho Santa Fe Irrigation District. She retired about a little less than 18 months ago. She is agreed to come on as a retired annuitant. She brings over 20 years of experience being a board secretary. So she will probably be with us for 4 to 6 months while we look for a permanent replacement of the positions here, and also provide training, because trust me, you don't want me training them, because it'll be like the blind leading the blind. So we'll get a proper person to at least provide, level service to the board and training to staff as we replace Anthony's position. So we're hoping to get Kim on pretty soon, within the next week or so, and then I'll make a formal introduction to the board with Kim. And then from there on, we could start the process of, including Kim like you would Anthony on anything and moving forward with that. I do appreciate the board's patience because we'll be going through a couple transitions. Obviously, a transition while Anthony's gone, and another transition as we fill positions and get them trained. So, basically, excuse our mess. We will get this cleaned up soon. So, let's see. Yes, sir?
Question? What agency you're going to?
Rancho?
Ah,
Rancho Water?
So he's leaving the county.
okay.
So, some other good news, the state mandated lead service line inspections are completed in time. Basically, it was a group effort between our meter crews, our temporary employee that we, basically temporary project employee, and Ed's construction crew. They get done in time, and as we expected, we don't have any lead service lines, so we have a clean bill of health on that. And I think it's due in October sometime, so we'll be putting together the report and sending it to the state for that. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, General Manager. I have a question about the lead inspection. We did not expect to find any lead pipes, and I'm wondering if, I know that this is a mandate, but I'm wondering if we could at some point demonstrate that we have never found any lead pipes and that we have only new construction going forward, so that we don't have to take the staff time and spend the money to continue to do these inspections and write these reports. That seems very reasonable, but I don't know how realistic that is.
Yeah, matter of fact, the agency general managers and the general managers from both Orange and LA County overall have agreed that they're all tracking their costs and they're going to send their costs to the state. So whether it goes anywhere, so that's going to be a follow-up. That's going to happen. I doubt it'll get any traction, but at least we'll show that this regulation did cost our customers money.
So, I wonder if there's an alternative rather than thumbing our nose.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's an alternative, like a petition or a letter writing or, some kind of demonstration that is, maybe these folks could also consider doing, or if anyone's talking about doing something like that.
Yep. We'll definitely look into it.
Okay, thank you. All right. San Diego County Water Authority. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped District Legal Counsel. Sorry.
No problem. Just a brief update. The state's legislative session ended on August 31st, so we're tracking a number of bills that have now been sent to the governor's desk. We'll report more specific things, anything of interest to the board as they're signed or vetoed. So I'm not going to provide any updates on them yet because we don't know the ultimate fate of the bills. But Jim and I will continue to provide updates to the board as the legislative session closes out. And then in terms of the hillside property, I think once the period during which people can express interest closes, we can provide the information on who's submitted their names for negotiation. And then that's all I have to report.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Okay, San Diego County Water Authority.
Director Otharp's not here, but the last meeting already happened, so there's no new report from our last meeting.
Okay, thank you. Encino Wastewater Authority.
Our next capital meeting is on the 17th, and I'll report then.
Okay, thank you. Standing committees.
Haven't met yet,
Yep.
so
Okay.
next week we'll.
All right, director's reports on meetings, conferences, seminars attended. Yep.
I attended the Urban Water Institute. Very interesting keynote speaker, Pete McBride, a photographer living in Colorado, does work for National Geographic and all over the world, but he was discussing the Colorado River and its history, and he had a magnificent book of photos of the Colorado River along the way. It wasn't too long ago before Mexico didn't even get any of the Colorado River. We finally had a minute meeting where they get at least, I think it's 100,000 acre feet to get their wetlands at least wet. But Colorado, it's interesting. They did all the calculations in the 30s. Wettest years in history. Well, from there, it's gone downhill, so now we're taking a big hit. Everybody, Arizona, California, Colorado, and I think New Mexico, Mexico as well, having taken a reduction. The good news for us is first in, last out. So we still get a very good amount, but I do think we still have had to give up a couple 100,000 acre-feet of water. So it's going to be continuing. As you saw today, Meade and Powell are in the 30-40% level, but the photos that he has in the book are just devastating. I mean, when it was 10 years ago, when it was pretty full, until now, where the boat shed is here, and a quarter mile away is the launch. So it's very telling. So very good meeting.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any other conferences, seminars? Wonderful. Other business, director's comments, future agenda items. I will start by congratulating Mr. Flores. Congratulations to you. I wish you all the best. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your excellent service to the board. And I wish you all the best. I hope it's a great move for you. Anybody else?
Echo the same things. Thank you, Anthony. It's been great to get to know you. Best of luck. Thank you, Jennifer, for stepping in. Appreciate both of you much. And thank you to Jason. I had an opportunity, Eric and I, to go see a new technology, 150 feet of relining pipe, and put it in, blew it up. Looks like it's working, or they're testing it still, but it was very interesting to be out there. So kind of fun to be hands-on. And I found out that Eric looks a lot better in a hard hat than I do, so in a vest. But no, it was a good time. So thank you. And that's all the comments. Again, thank you, Anthony, and thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate it.
Okay, yep.
Here, and congrats and good luck. And well, we're on the prop subject, and thanks again for that tour of the relining. That was super cool. I saw that we got some new trucks, so you have some new toys, and I was looking at the bill. You got a heck of a deal on those things, so congrats on that, and congrats to our ratepayers for such good negotiation tactics there. And I see our investments continue to do extremely well. I see we're moving some money around to do even better. So props to the finance team as well. And yeah, props to everyone here. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay, if there are no further comments, we are adjourned.